Hey Wyatt, as a defensive guy, what's just the most frustrating part that comes in with being involved in a game like that?
Yeah, well, one of the most frustrating parts is, they had key offensive linemen um, that weren't in the game, and the defensive line, was excited to take advantage of the opportunity with how, disruptive we've been playing. But they definitely schemed our defensive line super well, kept us out of the game for sure, especially with all the quick throws, quick passes, all that kind of stuff. So, they came out hot. We just couldn't get off the field, and they just made a lot of big plays. And those big plays is what's game changing and what brings all the momentum to one team. And we were just struggling for sure.
How hard has it been for the whole team going through the last couple of weeks? Not only not winning, but having to deal with all this COVID stuff. How hard has that been?
Yeah, it's been really hard, and COVID obviously has attacked our program a lot compared to many other programs. But Coach Kleiman just always says next guy needs to be ready to step up, and we do have a lot of inexperience, younger guys back there, so that without a whole lot of experience, so that kind of hurts us sometimes. But they're learning, they're developing, and no matter what the circumstances are, we're just going to go out there and try to do our best and try to get off the field.
I also want to ask, what's your thoughts on maybe playing in a bowl? If you guys get invited to one, is that something you think the guys would be excited about?
Well, we're super blessed and fortunate because a lot of teams, a lot of the teams this year, in all conferences, don't even know if they're going to play on Saturdays. And we've played 10 games, and that's just something that us players, looking back and last March and April, we didn't even know if we were going to play a season. So super blessed and fortunate that we were able to play 10 games. And if we have the opportunity to play an 11th game, it doesn't matter who it's against, what our record is, in the Big 12 conference. One more game, I think we'd all be excited for that.
Thanks, Wyatt. Appreciate it.
Fitz.
Hey Wyatt, as a defender, can you put into words what it's like to have an offense that's scoring so easily on you throughout a game like that?
Yeah, well, whether you're on offense or defense, if 10 guys are doing the job and one guy isn't, it's easy to put up points. And like I said, we had a lot of young guys, unexperienced. We had, Eli out with his injury, J Mac out with his injury, two key star players that we have in our defense. So that definitely hurt us. And, credit to Texas, they were just rolling, and, they were feeling themselves and on the offense side of the ball. So they just kept rolling. And, we had a lot of, stupid mistakes, tackling, obviously, finishing, running to the ball, small things that the players can control. Not things that, anyone can put on the coaches whatsoever. Those are things that the players need to take care of. And, just giving good effort, between those white lines.
And if you had input, and I'm sure you would if you're coming back, what things does this defense need to improve upon for next season?
Well, up front, our front four, super disruptive this season. So, I wouldn't say, obviously there's always room for improvement. I'm not saying we're satisfied whatsoever, but that obviously the front four is our strongest suit on defense. I don't know if Justin or Elijah are coming back. I don't know what they've done or what decisions they've made. Same with Cody Fletcher with all the seniors. I don't know what they're doing. But, we didn't have spring ball. We weren't practicing this summer. And we have a lot of young guys. So, getting those young guys reps is the main thing to, being successful on Saturdays on defense. So we've faced a lot of adversity this season. And, as much adversity as we faced, we just need to continue to go out there and attack every single day.
How tough has this adversity been?
It's been very tough, with COVID, not using that as an excuse because, every team has dealt with COVID just like how we have. But, here at Kansas State, we may not have the depth like other teams do. And so, if you're a starter, you're going to have to make plays on, offense, defense, and special teams. You're going to have to contribute in more ways just on offense and defense. just because of our depth problems. But other than that, it's been tough, but we never folded to, any type of adversity. We just went out there with our heads high and just continue to work hard.
Thanks, Wyatt.
We got 3 hands raised. We'll do those last here, starting with John.
Yeah, Wyatt, I know obviously finding out whether or not you're playing in a bowl game can affect this, but do you have an idea for a timeline on when you'll make a decision as to whether or not you'll come back or go to the draft?
Yeah, I plan on making that decision, within the next 2 or 3 weeks. I kind of just left that out of the conversation, during the season, just because I just want to be focused here. If I'm here in Kansas State, I want to give all my effort and energy and focus into Kansas State. So, 2 to 3 weeks, I'll probably make the decision for sure.
Appreciate it, Wyatt.
Michael?
Why was the Baylor game a letdown such that it could have affected preparation for this week?
I don't think so, for sure. Once Monday or Tuesday comes around, we're completely forget. Monday we're watching film, we're breaking down the film, learning from our past mistakes. But once Tuesday comes around, we don't care what happened that previous Saturday. Obviously, we need to keep in mind the things that we didn't do well on to try to improve those things in practice. Monday, Thursday. But like I said, once Tuesday comes around, we're focused on our next opponent and just take it week by week.
Did you and defensive coaches anticipate Texas employing some of the same tactics that Baylor did?
Yeah, definitely. We weren't, surprised at all when they were running, screens, draws. He didn't run as much quarterback draws as we anticipated, but definitely the screens, draws, slants, just short passes, short routes. We know that Baylor definitely saw our film. Having 7 sacks in the first half against Baylor last week. They knew. I even talked to their offensive coordinator right after the game on the field. He said, they game plan our defensive line. That was the first thing that they wanted to do to try to take us out of the game. So that was obviously frustrating for us for sure because we couldn't get to the quarterback in 1.5 seconds. So that was frustrating, but we just had to go out there and play hard. So
Thanks, Wyatt.
thank you.
Last one here from Brian.
Hey, Wyatt, just how good was their running back, Bijan Robinson, today? I just now noticed by looking at final stats, he averaged, if you can believe, 19 yards a carry on 9 carries.
Yeah, very talented back. He just has a lot of intangibles. The size and speed and quickness, and when those things combine together, just makes a great football player. And there's a few plays I'll just seeing him run. How quick he was, how big he was, super powerful, and credit to him, he's a great player for sure.
And what would you say just after, a loss like this, especially as we've talked about being a defensive guy and giving up this many points, what would you say is your biggest emotion? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? Is it something completely different than that?
Yeah, definitely frustrated. Just because, this is our defense, with the defense leaders on the defense side of the ball, we take pride in, helping the younger guys develop and helping all those backup guys that, got a lot more playing time than they anticipated this year. But at the same time, you have to be realistic about it. Obviously you can't lower the standard just because a guy is a backup or a younger person. You can't lower the standard whatsoever. You have to keep the standard high for them. But they are learning, they are developing. And like I said, with COVID, we faced a lot of adversity with starters, even with transferring and with all the guys who've transferred in the transfer portal, that put us in a kind of a tough spot as well. But it's frustrating, but at the same time, you have to put it in realization, these guys are young and they're developing.